Hello beautiful divine souls, my name is Amanda and welcome to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I am going to tap in to the collective consciousness of Ukraine and Russia. I'm going to divide it into and kind of really get some details about what is going on a spiritual level. Just keep in mind that this is all just my personal perception and personal opinion. And it's for entertainment purposes only. And yes, I kind of must state that. So take what you will and take what you won't. It's all love. So with intention, I have set this to be the side of Russia, and this is the side of Ukraine. It's pretty funny how that came out. It literally just dropped. So obviously, I do want to add that I went into the Akashic Records and I wanted to see if any of the souls were negative, if the leaders of these two countries were negative souls, and they are not. Neither one of them are negative souls. That might come of a surprise to some people, but they are actually just younger souls. Okay, souls range in levels from about 1 to 10. And they are both around a level 5. That's all about ego and power and control, okay? And as souls, we all go through this. So this is not to be judgmental. I'm a neutral party. I am not choosing sides. I do not agree with war. This is kind of just to get a better explanation. Maybe people can understand things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, because I with intention have connected my higher self to the higher self of the leader of Ukraine and the leader of Russia. Now I do want to go ahead and say that when it comes to Russia, all right, there's a lot of ego there. There's a lot of pride. Also, he's not making decisions by himself. He has a lot of people in his ear, and it's also fear-based. Believe it or not, this person is fearful. Okay, this person is absolutely fearful. Both parties are fearful. So they're making choices based out of fear and not out of love. And I know that, that's going to be obvious for some of us, but not so obvious for others, because when it boils down to it, how we respond to the world, how we act, how we behave, how we think is always either going to be fear-based and or love-based. It's one or the other. There really is no in between. So they have been conditioned to be this way, okay? So it's very egotistical, all about control. And so the Ukraine side is unwilling to give up what they feel is rightfully theirs, even though time and time again they're being shown that they're the weaker force. Once again, this is ego, because peace can come easily here. I just want it to be clear that on a spiritual level, peace can be easily accomplished, but there's refusal on both parties. I can tell you that on the Ukraine side, there has been word at least of them surrendering. Now, has he made the choice to do so? No, but it has been considered. It's absolutely been considered, because so what's going on, Spirit's kind of showing me in the mind of this in particular leader, and like I said, I'm not using names for specific reasons. Hopefully you can understand why. But with this Ukraine leader, many times have thought about, surrendering and giving in and doing the pros and cons, but man, making the wrong choice time and time again, which has cost more and more lives, more and more, negative things to happen, and it's like a ripple. So the more this happens, even though the average person would have learned their lesson by now, like I said, they're both very egotistical, just refuses. It's pride and it's other people also in his ear. So it's not just the leaders themselves, okay? They have a collective group of people behind them that stand with them. I know some people obviously know that and some don't. But this person, okay, this on the Ukraine side, leader has been told time and time again to give up and to stop, and absolutely refuses. So the majority of the Ukraine party would prefer if they just save lives and give in, but it seems to be like it's just not happening. There's like an absolute no. So I'm not sure if they're outnumbered. It's just Spirit's kind of showing me that the person who has the most power is saying no, but actually is outnumbered by the people that are saying yes, give in, and surrender. It's not worth what we're fighting for here. So over here on the Russia side, obviously this makes this person feel more and more powerful. And they actually, so this is kind of something to consider and to think about. It seems from other people's perception, right? Even from mine or yours, possibly, that this person is evil and they're doing evil things. But actually, they're not doing it because they're evil. I mean, you could say that they are, but what I'm trying to say is that they're doing it because it's giving them pleasure. They get pleasure, okay, from doing these things. Like it's like a dopamine hit, right? If I'm saying that right correctly, it's like a dopamine hit. Getting a huge adrenaline rush every time like another bomb goes off or something like that. It's like who's what is bigger than whose kind of thing. Very, very immature, especially when there's innocent lives being involved. Okay, so that was a lot. Let me pick up these cards. With just the two, that was a lot. All right, let's get more into Ukraine. Spirit. Taking unnecessary risks. Thinking, so yeah, this Ukraine, they are hopeful and they're actually really flighty in and out of being able to make choices. So they're showing me that before an actual decision is made, they cannot agree. There's a lot of arguing over here with, I guess, the political parties, I guess I don't get into stuff like that, okay? So I don't really know the proper terms of the Ukraine collective, the group of leaders and stuff like that. I really don't know the political parties, the government, whatever you would call it. There's a lot of arguing and back and forth. A lot of them feel like it's unnecessary risk, and then this specific leader thinks he knows everything and thinks that if we just keep holding on, the light will shine on us and grace will be upon us, something like that. So there is some sort of reaching out to, because the Ukraine leader does have a connection with spirit, with God, source, creator, whatever it is you want to call it, okay? And I see that prayers are being put out. So he's hopeful, but, how can I put this, you guys? He feels like what he's doing is the right thing. I guess I can say that. This leader, he feels like he's doing the right thing. Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to change very quickly here for them. Eventually, they'll get to the end of their rope because they're running out of things, I guess, solutions. They're running out of solutions. And to be honest, I don't really know if there have ever been any appropriate solutions. So, there is about to be a huge change from what is happening now, okay? And they do fear the nuclear bombs, and that's something that I'm going to talk about when I get over here, okay? So there is the fear there of the nuclear bombs. Okay, so I'm just going to say, so Spirit is saying that on the Russia side, there's absolute threat of the nuclear bombs, but as far as it going to happen, I get a really big no. I am being shown that the Russia side is also afraid of doing it, okay? They're afraid of the lashback that they'll get from the United States and other countries involved. And I feel like Russia really knows that they may be outnumbered, even though they do have, they're huge or whatever. In the end, okay, Ukraine will definitely... defeat is, I don't know if that, I mean, it's the word because it's already been defeat. There is defeat already, and there will continue to be more unless an appropriate decision, action-based choice is made. So I don't know for sure. Okay, so I was going to Google it, but I'm not, and my partner doesn't seem to know either. But I'm not sure if the Ukraine leader has a wife. I believe so, but there is definitely a female, okay, showing up energetically in his ear and does not like any of the choices that he's making. So he could be sleeping on a couch at night, and that's pretty funny. All right. Yeah, a lot of people are actually not standing with the choices the Ukraine leader is making. Okay, now with that being said, let's go ahead and get to Russia's side. Spirit, please show me the energy. Ooh, this man is angry. And it did shock me to, this man is not evil. He's not a negative soul. But he will be coming back around to fix to right his wrongs, okay? He will be coming back around. Also showing that his team, the government leaders, whatever that's around him, they also do not agree with the decisions that he makes, because I see that he's quick to want to nuke, and then he has everyone else behind him saying that absolutely not, this is not a good idea, you really need to think this through. And this man is really having a power trip, and I do see that he gets pleasure out of being able to control and hurt and harm others. Okay? I know this is getting deep, y'all. Ten of Cups. I do see that he considers his Russian peoples, right? He does consider, he cares about Russia, but obviously is absolutely does not care about any casualties in Ukraine. So I guess that's kind of good to see that he cares about something, right? Also, this man loses sleep at night, you guys. He does not rest easy. I see that he's haunted by so there is absolutely some dark entities in his energy field. That's for sure. Very, very clear that he loses sleep at night because there are dark entities that are kind of getting into, so it's not fully like possession. It's similar to like channeling, where his soul is still there and another like entity is able to come in and kind of manipulate and change his thoughts, okay? So it is not even fully the Russian leader making choices based upon what he wants because that's what he wants. He is absolutely being manipulated by dark entities that come visit him at night, and he is aware of it, and that's what keeps him in fear. So even though he's doing what he's doing, and it seems like it would appear as if Russia's winning, he still feels defeated. Very low vibrational energy, and this is where we want to kind of have compassion and send love to both parties, because it was really important to me that I dove into this on a spiritual level and like from a higher perspective, because we can really get in and see why things are happening without like the news misleading us, right? Because that's exactly what it's doing. It's very misleading, and there's always two sides of the story, right? So yeah, being manipulated by dark energies and control about money, and that's obvious, right? I do see that when the Russian leader is not being controlled by this dark entity, that he does actually also have compassion and empathy. So he's not fully without it. Okay? We do need to remember that both of these parties, they are people, they are humans. In no way am I making excuses, but I'm just, take that for what it is. Whatever you wish is cool. Yeah. So with the Ukraine side, he definitely has a female. This could be his mother, his sister. I don't know if he has some daughters or a wife. It could be all the above, some of the above. Anyways, he has female figures in his life, family figures that are in his ear telling him to stop. Telling him to stop. I'm getting 444. I saw that right on the clock, and it's also here. So his guides are with him. I do feel that when it comes to the Ukraine side, he is more open to spirit and able to hear the guidance coming from like his team of spirit guides and such. Whereas on the Russian side, this individual has completely cut it off because just the vibrational state that he's in allows for these entities to come in, and this is not quite where this person is. entity, person, it's kind of the same thing. Being, should I say, being. Also, making decisions based off of money instead of lives. Okay, so very off balance over here on the Ukraine side, not standing in his power. Of course, power being stripped from him, that's a given, that's an obvious. So although he is connected to spirit still, the heart chakra is very, very blocked and very closed. I do see that they both have sleepless nights and they both kind of sleep alone because they're basically overwhelmed and stressed out. Obviously, you know, I would be too. That's crazy. Okay, so things are going to get worse for Ukraine before they get better. Okay? And there's still going to be people I see that refuse to leave even though they're told to be evacuated. And that's another thing. We got pride and ego. We always need to remember to not judge and send love and compassion to both countries and to all people involved, right? So yeah, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Now let me go to the Russia side. Blossoming abundance. In the end, I do see Russia coming out on top. That is obviously a given. It's absolutely about money. And also, I do see that there is some sort of deal that there's possibly, okay, I need to watch what I say with this. Okay. There has been some sort of deal with a woman figure that is willing to assist, but there has to be a sacrifice made, okay? There must be a sacrifice made. This is a woman of power, and I am not saying names. We're not doing that. You know, you can put that where you see fit. But there's been a deal made behind the scenes, and if people knew about this, it would be an absolute People would be infuriated. I'm kind of infuriated speaking on it now. So yeah, this is a woman with a lot of power. These are alliances behind closed doors, deals being made behind closed doors to make sure that Russia comes out on top, and sacrifice being made, but also promises being promised, I guess you could say, deals being made to where both parties get their way. And I do see, yeah, there's definitely a woman figure here involved. A high-ranking politician, authority figure, government elite, something like that, involved here, working with Russia behind closed doors. Some of you may know who this is. Some of you may not. I would say like negotiating things. And I wouldn't even say this is to defuse the situation. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is hidden and it's secret, and that's why I say it's not right and people would be mad, okay? So I do want to make that very clear. It's not a bad thing. This is for peace. This is for the better of all. Well, I wouldn't say for all, because this person is coming in to help and negotiate and assist for selfish reasons. It's not for the greatest good of all. It's because this woman, this feminine image, entity being, will benefit from this deal, and so will Russia, okay? Now, when it comes to the nuclear bombs, like I said, I'm getting a big no of them being set off. This is going to be diffused, and if ever there was an attempt to be made, I'm getting told that it will fail. The attempts will fail. Or something will go wrong, and it will seem like a mechanical or a technical error. Journey. So it's coming to an end. Or it's possible, okay, they're showing me like 2 years. It could be drawn out for 2 more years, or this could be 2 months, definitely not 2 weeks, okay? And do know this is happening for a reason. So it's kind of what's happening between Ukraine and Russia is kind of like as above, so below, as within, so without. It's collective. Collectively, this is happening, right? It's collective, a collective thing that we somehow agreed upon. And this is so things can come to the light. Things need to be exposed. Things need to be seen. In order for them to be seen, they have to get really crazy and chaotic, unfortunately. But that is the divine nature of things. It's kind of like in a volcano erupting. It has to kind of explode before that healing can come in, before it regrowth and all that. That's so kind of like a symbolic metaphor right there for you, if you will. Things are going to continue to be off balance for a while. Yeah, I'm getting the 222 again. I would say it's going to end within 2 years. And things in Ukraine will get worse before they get better. Decisions, not giving in. Yeah. So, this man over here does not think he's very impulsive. He's very impulsive. But like I said, there's people that stand behind him or beside him that kind of keep that in control a little bit. So thank goodness for those people. Yeah. And this runs deep for the Ukraine leader. It is deeply rooted because it's ancestral. It is the lineage, right? It is the principle here for the Ukraine leader. And for the Russian leader, it's just about power, and I'm more powerful than you. I have control over you, so do what I say. And because of the lineage, of the roots, of the this is mine. I was here first, and I don't really know if that is even true. Why I feel like it actually wasn't. It actually wasn't, and I don't know why Spirit is telling me that. Like something about this Ukraine, and I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I haven't looked into like the details of it all. This is just a spiritual perception that Ukraine actually belongs to Russia or someone else, and it's actually not like, if you want to be technical like that, it's Ukraine doesn't really have the rights to that. And I could be wrong. This could be wrong. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's it. I'm gonna leave it right there for you guys, and I just felt like doing something different. I thought it would be fun. So if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, let me know if you didn't like it. It's all love. And yeah, subscribe. Bye.